Hello and good evening, everyone. On behalf of AKC, I'd like to welcome you to the Managing Your Litters in AKC Breeder Toolkit webinar. I'm Jason Miller, AKC LMS Manager, and your facilitator for tonight's webinar. To begin, I'd like to give you a quick tour of the webinar platform so that you will be able to interact with the presenter that we have for you today. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see the webinar dashboard that appears like this. Now zooming in, we'll first look at the orange arrow. Clicking on this arrow will cause the dashboard to collapse, eliminating the details. You can then click any gray portion of the remaining smaller dashboard bar to move it around your screen if you desire. And clicking the orange arrow again will cause the dashboard to return to the expanded form. The next icon down is your microphone. The icon is currently a picture of a microphone with an orange background and a line through it. Because we have so many people joining us tonight, all microphones are muted. Looking further down the dashboard, you'll see a section for questions. When you have a question to add, you can do so here, and then click the send button. And now I introduce you to your presenter this evening, Kelli Klosowski, CS Training and QA Manager. Kelli, I'll now turn it over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Jason. As he mentioned, my name is Kelli Klosowski, and I am the manager of AKC Customer Service Training and Quality Assurance. And I am joined today in our live chat by Linda Dunkley, our Director of Registration Services, and Sierra Ziegler, our Brand Marketing Manager. They will be answering your questions as we go through the webinar this evening, as well as helping me with a live Q&A at the end. Also, we, of course, will be recording this webinar and it will be available for posting on akc.org shortly. So thanks so much for joining us in our second series of the Breeder Toolkit webinars. We are focusing this evening on managing your litters. And we're going to go ahead and get started. And just a brief overview for those who may not have participated in our first webinar or are new to Breeder Toolkit. What is Breeder Toolkit? This is something we created for AKC breeders. It is a free resource that centralizes important AKC registration and record keeping functions into one location. As you can see from the screenshot over on the right-hand side, it is organized as clickable cards with targeted functions for the management of dogs, litters, breeding records, and more. And it does include powerful record keeping and reporting functions such as a dog summary report, your litter records, various entry forms, electronic registration forms such as your digital litter kit and prepay, and the ability to easily order duplicate registration certificates for dogs that you currently own. Now, what you'll be learning today are the targeted functions of the Manage Litters card, including prepaid registration, the electronic litter kits and the difference between these two, an overview of limited registration, more about litter records, and breeder record keeping. So lots of great information this evening. And to get started, the first thing you're going to need is a My AKC account to use Breeder Toolkit. Now, how you can set up an account or sign in is through navigation to www.akc.org. You're going to locate the sign in icon in the upper right-hand corner and click or tap on it. The experience is slightly different if you are using a mobile device. Then go ahead and enter your email address and password and click on Log In. Now, if you have not yet created an account, there is a link at the very bottom here to create your AKC account now. And it's a quick and easy process, including verifying your email, and then you'll be able to log into Breeder Toolkit. And as always, if you do need assistance with your account, customer service is glad to help. Okay, now once you have logged into your account, you should see your name in the upper right-hand corner. You're going to click on your name and then click on My AKC and click on this Breeder Toolkit link. Now, if you have previously used our online record keeping, there will be a brief conversion process of your records over to Breeder Toolkit. And if you've been in Breeder Toolkit previously, you will be directed to the home page. Now, if you are a new account user, you are going to be prompted to add at least one dog that you currently own. And for this, you will need your registration number and certificate issue date. Both of these items are located on the paper registration certificate that was mailed to you after you registered your dog or transferred ownership. And what we're looking for here is the dog's AKC number and that certificate issue date I have highlighted here in yellow underneath our logo. Now, to begin, the focus of our webinar this evening is the Manage Litters card. Now, this card is used to view and manage AKC registered litters. And once we click Go on that card, we're going to see a shortcut button up at the top to register a litter. We have a Show Me Filter list, and we'll be going through these different options this evening. We have sortable column headers across the top here, such as your litter number, the birth date, the number of pups registered, as well as the ability to see the total number of records depending on our view here, and adjust the rows per page that we are currently viewing. Now, each of your litters are going to be organized into a row, and we're going to have registration options over on the right-hand side. This is where we'll be accessing Prepaid, the electronic litter kit, and any additional information. Now, to expand a litter and view the details, you're going to click the plus, and then it's going to turn into a minus so that we can click that to collapse it. And here's where we're going to see all of the different litter details. So up at the top, we have the AKC litter number, the breed of dog, the date of birth, the dam and sire information, the number of puppies registered. So here we can see one of two puppies are registered, and we can also see the complement here. This litter includes one male and one female. This is also a great way to ensure that your litter details are correct. Now we can also see down below the status of the puppies within this litter. We can see here puppy 01 is registered, and this is just a demo account. So we have the name here, we have the sex, color and markings, the registration type, and the check mark indicates that this registration is complete. In contrast, we can see right below this puppy is unregistered. Now we also have this link to edit puppy info or edit info. And when we get to prepaid, this will say edit prepaid puppy. And this is an important link that we want to go ahead and view because this is where we begin inputting owner information for our litter records. And also, if we do intend to click on this register link, we do want to go ahead and edit that puppy info prior to that because it is going to allow us to designate limited registration if we are limiting this particular puppy's registration. Now, the other thing we're going to see when we click on Edit Info is we're going to see the status of the puppy up at the top. We can see here, this is an unregistered puppy. You will have your 5-digit online PIN and your 3-digit registration type PIN. And again, entering that 3-digit PIN is what provides full registration for this puppy. And on the left-hand side, we're going to have the AKC number. We'll have a drop-down box for the puppy status, and that would be if we transferred with papers, if we transferred without papers, if that puppy is deceased, or if the breeder kept that puppy. And of course, we can also enter our transfer date, and that is the date the new owner took possession of the puppy, the day they brought their puppy home. And of course, sex, color, and markings. And then at any time, we can enter permanent identifiers, and that's going to be your microchip or your tattoo. So that's the puppy information on the left-hand side. Now on the right-hand side, this is your new owner information. And this data is for your personal records and is part of your record keeping requirement. So this is going to be the email and information, including phone number for your new puppy owner. And once you enter in this information, we're just going to go ahead and click on Save. And that is the beginning of your litter records. Now, speaking of PIN codes, We do get this question quite a bit, and PIN codes are always available under Manage Litters when we click on Edit Puppy Info. Now, each puppy is going to have its own unique PIN codes, so if we're looking for the PIN codes for puppy 01, we want to be sure that we're looking and clicking on Edit Puppy Info for puppy 01. Now, PIN codes are not applicable to prepaid because prepaid has its own registration workflow that we'll be going through this evening. Now, if you are designating limited registration, and I will be talking more about limited registration, you do need to darken the registration type box on the paper application and be sure you do discuss this with your customers. And here is a close-up of what that looks like. It typically has 3 lighter colored gray numbers inside this box. Now, PIN codes can always be provided if that registration type box was originally darkened on the application and now we've agreed on full registration. And if that's the case, we do recommend you provide your buyers with a signed bill of sale, which does specify the puppy number and the condition of the sale. And we'll have a little bit more detailed information up next. So with that said, let's go ahead and view a litter. So here we are looking at Breeder Toolkit, and I like to introduce what I call my breadcrumbs in the upper left-hand corner. This is a great way when you get into various Breeder Toolkit cards, especially prepay, you'll be able to click on Breeder Toolkit and return back to this homepage. Now we'll go ahead and click on Manage Litters. And here we can see right now, I'm looking at 24 results. However, be sure that we're looking at our Show Me list up at the top because this is going to filter based on the information that you are selecting. If I choose Show Me My Litters, now that's going to refresh and show me 92 results. I can also change my view of the number of rows per page, and I can click once to sort by pups registered so that I can concentrate on the litters where we need to go ahead and get those registrations completed, and we can click once again to sort in descending order. Now, another nice feature here is that we can search by litters within a specific date range to narrow it down, and we can see we go from 92 results down to 4. We can search by a specific litter number. We'll also be looking at our prepaid litters and our electronic litter kits. And one of my favorites is when we're looking for a litter that involves a specific dog name. So I'll use Jelly and apply that here. And now I can see that I've got 2 results because we have Kensworth Red Pepper Jelly shown here. Now, if we are going to view any of these litters, click once to expand it. And here we are. We've got our litter number. And of course, each puppy number consists of the first 2 letters and 6 numbers that are the same as the litter number with 01, 02, 03, 04, and so on at the end. We can see the puppy name. And if we have registered this puppy, we have the AKC registered name. Otherwise, we have the identifying information that we enter. We can see here that puppy 01 has been registered as a red male with full registration. And when we click on the check mark or highlight the check mark, we can see that that puppy has been registered. And when we click on Edit Puppy Info, because this puppy has already been registered, you could see here that the registration number cannot be clicked or edited, as well as the sex and the color, but we still have the ability to add microchip. Here is that puppy status list that I was explaining. And over on the right-hand side, here is our owner information. And as always, if you ever need to make a change, you can simply click and type in it and just be sure we click on Save. And then an unregistered puppy, we see that's just a little bit different. We have the ability to still limit that puppy's registration, especially if we're going to click on that registration link. We can download this puppy's record, and your downloads are going to be PDF files. You can see here, this is what that puppy record looks like. And of course, we have the same owner information over on the right-hand side. And I'm just going to go ahead and collapse that. And let's pop back over to our presentation. Now, we get a lot of questions about limited registration, and I did want to take the time to go through that a little bit in this evening's webinar. Limited registration is a tool for litter owners to protect their breeding program, and it could be due to a number of different reasons, including health considerations. What limited registration means is that the dog is AKC registered, but any litters of that dog are not going to be eligible for AKC registration, so it is not a tool for breeding. Limited dogs are also not eligible for AKC confirmation shows, but are welcome at most other AKC events. And the way we designate limited registration is by darkening that registration type PIN box on the application, as you can see here. So when we go online to register, we are going to enter in that 5-digit PIN code, and we are going to leave this 3-digit PIN code blank, and we will receive a confirmation message online that the puppy is going to be registered as limited. There is also a visible difference on your registration certificate. Limited registrations do have an orange border. We can see that it indicates right here, limited registration certificate. And in the upper right-hand corner, it says offspring of this dog are not eligible for registration. Whereas a full registration certificate has this purplish blue border. So you can quickly tell at a glance of a registration certificate whether that dog is full or limited registration. Now, the AKC does not become involved in disputes regarding limited registration. And so if you do have a puppy and you have questions about that, we always recommend you speak to the litter owners because that is a decision between buyers and sellers. Now, can this be changed? Can we update or can we revoke limited? Yes, absolutely. There's a couple of different situations here. Now, if we originally took the registration application and we darkened that 3-digit PIN code, the PIN codes can be provided to the puppy owner. And now we've agreed on full registration. They will have that PIN code. They can go online and register that way. We do want you to go ahead and provide buyers with a signed bill of sale, which does specify the puppy number and the condition of the sale. And here are suggested bullet points over on the right-hand side. But if the dog is already registered and was registered as limited, these can be revoked through an application process with the appropriate signatures. And in many cases, this is the preferred way because full registration in most situations cannot be downgraded to limited registration. So if we've registered a dog as limited, we can revoke that. There is an application. It is called the Application to Revoke Limited Status. It's available on our website under our downloadable forms page. And really important here, be sure that your effective date is prior to any matings or shows and to note that change on your litter records. So we can see it right here. Now, for your record keeping requirements, your litter records, our record keeping requirement is for a period of 5 years, which is also going to help you prepare for a kennel inspection, should that be something that comes your way. Now, to pre-populate your litter record form, the first thing we're going to do is under Manage Litters, click on that Edit Puppy and enter the details of your puppy sale. So again, we see the same screenshot here. We have the puppy information over on the left-hand side. We have our new owner information over on the right-hand side. And then be sure that we save it. Next, we are going to expand our litter, and after we've edited this information, we're going to click to download our litter record. Here's a sample of what that looks like. Now, you do have the ability to handwrite information as well. However, the paper copy is no longer required for inspection, so you can keep your litter records all within Breeder Toolkit, keep them electronically, and print them if you would like. Now, because we do get questions about inspections as well, I do like to share with people a very helpful resource on our website for inspections and compliance. And we're going to go here. My favorite way to get there is by navigating to www.akc.org. And all the way down at the bottom of our website in the blue footer here, we have this great link under top resources called Inspections and Compliance. There's a wonderful video here that shows you what to expect during an inspection, some great information, and also very helpful resources, your FAQs, inspection documents, and a procedural checklist, as well as that information over here on the left-hand side. So once again, we got there through the footer of the AKC website, inspections and compliance right here. All right, and if you do need a blank litter record form, we always have those available on our website on the downloadable forms page. So next, let's go ahead and look at our litter records. We'll add some owner information and view it. So here we are in a litter. I'm still under dog's name Jelly. We're going to look at puppy 03. Click on Edit Info. Here we have Linda Trainer, so we've already got our information here. Maybe we want to update our phone number. Add that here, click on Save. And let's edit info for the last one. And even if we just have first and last name and an email, as much information as we can enter is helpful. So we've got information here. Now we're going to go ahead and click on Download Litter Record. We can see that here. And you can see it's instant. The information I just entered is available here on your litter record form, as well as your litter information, including the sire and the dam and your complement. So it's always here at your fingertips as soon as you enter the information. It's a great way to manage your records. Okay, our next topic, prepaid versus the electronic litter kit, also called ELK. I thought it would be helpful to highlight some main differences to really display what the difference is between these two programs. Now, the prepaid is where we are already registering the litter. So we've registered our AKC litter, and then we are taking an additional step and paying upfront for all of our puppy registrations at a discounted price, which right now is just $23 per puppy. It's a super deal. Now, the electronic litter kit is simply the digital version of the paper litter kit that you normally receive in the mail. So it is downloadable PDF forms that are available to you within Breeder Toolkit. With the ELK, there is no prepayment. These are just your applications. Owners are typically going to pay that fee. We provide the signed application to them. They take it with their puppy and they hopefully go online or mail in their registration application. That fee is currently $39.99 per puppy. With prepaid, this is an online workflow, although it does have a PDF application that can be completed by the breeder on behalf of the new owner. Or the breeder can choose to transfer the puppy to the new owner for them to complete the registration. Now, if the breeder completes the registration on behalf of the puppy owner, what the puppy owner sees is the registration certificate confirming the AKC registration. They actually don't receive an application at all. They receive that registration certificate that confirms their ownership. It is a separate application, and you are going to set aside your regular AKC registration applications. If you received a litter kit in the mail, for example, you will not be using those forms. You will use the prepaid forms instead. As I mentioned prior, the ELK is the digital version of your regular AKC registration application. So that's your litter kit that's normally mailed to you once your litter has been registered. The great thing about this is it's always available to you within Breeder Toolkit. All you need to do is sign it and provide the application to the new owners, and you can essentially print on demand. You can download and print the PDFs yourself and easily reprint applications when the puppy has gotten a hold of their application and had it for a snack, and we need a duplicate or it has been lost or misplaced. You always have that application right within Breeder Toolkit. Now here are a few images showing the difference between these applications. On the left-hand side, prepaid dog registration application. It is clearly labeled prepaid up at the top. There is only going to be one 5-digit code here because we are going to designate whether or not that dog is limited within the online application portion. We'll be talking about naming the dog. And we can see down at the bottom, it is also highlighted here in yellow for our purposes that it's prepaid. The electronic litter kit, you are still going to receive 2 pages per puppy, a front side and a back side. Here's your online pin at the top. Here's your registration type and all of the other pertinent information. And for each litter owner whose name is printed on the back side, as I have here, 1, 2, 3, be sure that they are all signed before we provide these applications to the puppy owners. With prepaid, another bundle of deals. There are no additional fees and you have access to discounted products. If you're using the electronic litter kit, it is the standard AKC registration fees. It is $10 per co-owner, $11 for an extended name, and there can also be late fees. Within prepaid, you do not have any of those additional fees, so it is a great way to ensure that all of your puppies are getting registered. And of course, with our applications, sometimes those registrations do become overlooked by the new owners, but the great thing is if you have them within Breeder Toolkit, you can easily print out another and provide that to your puppy owner. Now, what we're going to do next is actually go through the prepaid process so you can see what that looks like. If you've been with us for a while, you may have heard of Breeder Easy Reg. The prepaid application does replace Breeder Easy Reg, and it is a wonderful tool for breeders to ensure a name or a full dog name. So you're going to have 4 choices here, depending on how you choose to register this dog, whether you're registering the dog or you're transferring to the new owner for them to complete. You can set a prefix of the puppy. So that might be your kennel name. And if you set a prefix and allow the new owner to register, they cannot edit or remove that prefix. You can also set it as a suffix, or you can set the full dog's name so that the new owner can complete the registration, but they cannot actually change that dog's name. You're also going to designate limited or full registration along with the sex of the dog and the color, and markings and microchip and permanent identifiers are optional. And it is going to be a separate transaction to prepay all of those puppy registrations up front, and then you will edit and transfer those individual puppies. And here's a screenshot of what it looks like. It is going to automatically calculate your fee per puppy multiplied times $23. So here we have 2 puppies, $46. And then we'll go ahead and edit each prepaid puppy and either complete on behalf of the new owner or transfer to the new owner so that they can complete that registration. Once again, it's a super great deal with discounted puppy registration fees, no co-owner fees, no extended name fees, and of course, discounted reunite and pedigree offerings. With the prepay, you can add any combination of owners. So it could be all of the litter owners. It could be one litter owner and one new puppy owner. It could be just the new puppy owners. And you can, again, complete online, or you can email the application link, which also comes with a PDF file, to the new owner for them to complete. It has its own dedicated online workflow and has a separate application for mailing if needed, which looks like this. Coming soon, I'm very excited to share with you, we have a simplified and improved online litter experience, including all artificial insemination. Here is a preview of what's coming. We are also going to be adding prepaid during your litter registration. So now you will have, while you're registering your litter, the ability to prepay or purchase an electronic litter kit, whichever you choose. And here you can see a screenshot of the prepaid combined with your online litter fee. And we are going to hopefully be implementing the ability to email your electronic litter kits to the new owners from within Breeder Toolkit. Currently, I have highlighted here, we have the ability to print, but look for an email option coming soon. Now, specifically, how do we go about prepaying? We are going to go to Manage Litters, and we talked about this options column over on the right-hand side. What we're looking for is this blue purchase options. If this is grayed out, it means you do not have any purchase options because all of your puppies are already registered. So congratulations on that 100% puppy registration. Prepaid cannot be combined with the electronic litter kit, or if the electronic litter kit was selected during your litter registration. And if you do need assistance with this, please contact customer service. We can help you. And with the prepaid, the system is going to auto-calculate the number of unregistered puppies at a discounted rate. This is also important if you have a correction to your litter complement, whether we are removing puppies or adding puppies. Do be sure that your litter has been corrected before you prepay, because the system is not going to know that information until we make sure that your litter complement is correct. It is a one-time purchase. You are unable to select specifically which pups to prepay. However, if you do want this flexibility, we have a paper form called the Full Litter Offspring Plus, and it is available on our downloadable forms page. So the easiest way, once we have prepaid for a litter, to edit a prepaid puppy is we are once again in Manage Litters. I'm going to use that Show Me filter up at the top and choose Prepaid Litters. Click to expand my litter, and then I'm going to click on Edit Prepaid Puppy. This is where we're going to set the name, details, and owners. So we have this form that we need to complete, including transferring the puppy before the new owner will receive a link as an indicator that this puppy is ready to be registered. Now, what happens if we set our owner? I have entered my information here. I'm Kelli Trainer. I have transferred this puppy. Now, once I choose Transfer Puppy, I have two choices. I can go ahead and complete the registration on behalf of the new owners so that we know it gets completed, or I can send this link to the new owner and they can go ahead and complete the registration. Now, once you transfer, depending on your selection, you will receive confirmation that the transfer is complete. Don't worry though. You can still edit this transfer until the puppy is registered. Now here is an example of what the new owner will receive with a link to go ahead and register their puppy. They get a PDF file of the prepaid application, which they can choose to print and mail in if they would like. Once again, here is a sample of what that looks like. And let's say we have a couple of different scenarios. What if we had a typo in the new owner's name or the email address and they did not receive that link? Once you have transferred that puppy, you can go back in and now this button becomes Edit Transfer. So we can edit that puppy transfer and adjust that owner's information, including adding additional owners or removing owners if we need to. Let's say something happened with that puppy sale and this owner is no longer going to be moving forward with the puppy. Well, we can cancel that puppy transfer and it's going to clear that form, and then we are able to go ahead and enter a new puppy owner's information and transfer the puppy to that person. Or let's say for whatever reason that registration just isn't getting completed. Well, we now can go in and we can still complete on behalf of the litter owner or new owners. That would be this third option here so that we know that registration is in fact complete. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the process. We're going to go back here to Breeder Toolkit. and we are in Manage Litters. I'm going to use my Show Me filter. Let's go to Prepaid Litters. Okay, so in my Prepaid Litters, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to this litter here. And we can see I've got puppy 01 and 02. We've got a little bit of activity. And if you hover over, I call these my chicklet bars, we can see these, the puppy has been paid for. But this one, we've actually transferred that puppy already, but this puppy is not yet registered. And you'll see the difference here, green check mark, puppy has been registered. We can view that puppy info. And this is also your litter records here. Oops, let me log back in. There we go. Okay, we'll get back to this one here. So we can see puppy has been transferred versus a puppy that has already been registered. And if the puppy has been transferred, when we click on Edit Prepaid Puppy, this is the information that you're going to see. So you've got all of your information for the owners. This is where we can go ahead and edit that transfer. We can also send an email or we can print that application as well. Now with the Edit Prepaid Puppies, notice that it does open up a separate tab up here. So again, if you need to get back to your main breeder toolkit, you could just close that extra tab. And here's where we were looking at our litter record and our other litter here. So Edit Prepaid Puppy. Let's go ahead and click on one where the puppy has been paid for, but no additional information has been set. So we're going to go ahead and set a full name here. We're going to set the details, the sex of the dog, whether this puppy is going to be limited or full registration. We're going to select our color. Microchip is optional. And we're going to go ahead and select our transfer date. Let me expand this to make it a little bit bigger. And you will have the option to add all current litter owners or a new owner or select an individual litter owner. I'm going to go ahead and plug in myself. We can see the required fields. Save that owner. If there is an address verification, you can go ahead and select that. So we can see here we have this first owner. If we realize there are any changes that need to be made, we're going to go ahead and click on Edit. Now I'm just going to use the one owner, transfer this puppy, and then I'm going to choose Complete on behalf of the new owner so that you can see what that process looks like. Okay, here we are into the prepaid dog registration flow. We can see the owner information, the date of transfer. Remember I said if we set the full name, the new owner cannot edit that name. Here we have it. So it's exactly the way you want it. A microchip can still be added here or markings. We're going to go ahead and click on Continue. And here are your various options. Now we have lots of great bundles here that include Reunite and pedigrees, and we can see the pricing is available. The AKC registration is included here, and I'm going to select this option because this will display all of the a la carte offerings on the next page. So here you can select whether you'd like an AKC certified pedigree of up to 4 generations, an export pedigree. Lots of different options here for Reunite. The puppy box is available. We love these blankets, teething pack, Good Dog Helpline, and Family Dog Magazine. So this is totally customizable with whatever products or services you would like to add, and click on Continue. There is an AKC certification and agreement that you must check. And that's it. The registration has been completed. There is a button here to activate the pet insurance, and this is a great time to print your receipt. Now, because I did not select any additional products or services, there is $0 due because we have already prepaid for this puppy registration. Now to get back to Breeder Toolkit, this opened another tab. I'm just going to go ahead and close that. And then we should be able to see that that prepaid registration has been completed. And it'll take a moment here to display. And also, once again, we can download our litter record to view all of that information. It's already going to be populating our litter record form for us. Okay. I'm going to switch over to elk litters here. Okay, switching gears, the electronic litter kit, otherwise known as ELK. This is a great way to enjoy the convenience of printing your litter kit on demand. You have two different options here. You can download the entire litter kit, or you can print individual PDF applications. It is totally your choice. It is going to be 2 pages per puppy, a front side and a back side. And there are 2 different ways that you can purchase the electronic litter kit. One is during your litter registration, and I showed you a preview of what's coming soon. This is our current litter registration. We have 10 steps. It is being condensed down to 4, making it easier and more convenient for you. And we currently do have this available online. You're going to select it for $12 when you register online. Now, if you do select the electronic litter kit while you are registering your litter, you will not receive a paper litter kit in the mail. You will simply have the digital litter kit within Breeder Toolkit. This is what it will look like very soon. Or let's say we did go ahead and register our litter and we did not choose the electronic litter kit. So we have received the paper litter kit in the mail, or maybe it's been delayed in the mail and we need it sooner rather than later. Now you can go through Breeder Toolkit and purchase it for $15. You're going to locate that blue purchase options link, and then you're going to select purchase an electronic litter kit and continue. It is a one-step process. It is $15 for all of the unregistered puppies in that litter. And it is a super option when you do need your litter kit. There can tend to be a sense of urgency. We have puppy buyers coming this weekend and we have not yet received our litter kit in the mail. This is a great way to quickly retrieve those forms. Now, it does happen momentarily. The litter kit download link is going to be delivered to you via email. And again, electronic litter kit is just your digital litter kit. It cannot be combined with prepay. And if you don't receive your electronic litter kit right away, do check your junk or your spam folders. Sometimes they do get caught up in there. And you do still need to download and print those applications. And once again, where all of our litter owners' names are printed on that second page, do be sure that we are signing. Now, if you don't have a printer at home, you can, of course, access Breeder Toolkit anywhere, anytime. So you are able to go to a library, an office supply store, or a family member's home and have the ability to access your litter kit and print it from there. All right, let's go ahead and take a closer look at those electronic litter kits. So here you saw me, I switched over to our elk litters. We can see here 0 of 4 pups are registered, 1 of 4 here, 2 of 7. I'm going to go ahead and choose one that's got a puppy already registered. Notice once that dog is registered, we don't have the option to print a PDF because it is no longer necessary once that registration has been completed. However, if we want to download the entire litter kit, we're going to click the link up here, and it does take a moment to generate. And here we are. This is what it looks like. Page 1, page 2, page 1, page 2. Now, I do want to point out each of these applications have individual puppy numbers. Again, the first 2 letters and 6 numbers are your litter number, and then we have O2, O3, O4. Now, this is important also when you are providing puppy owners their application and managing your litter records. You want to be certain that you enter the correct owner information that goes along with this puppy number. And likewise, if we just wanted to print a PDF because puppy number O2, we needed to reprint that for the owner for whatever reason, we can click on Print PDF, and that application should download sooner rather than later, hopefully, and we can then provide that and be sure once again that we are signing it. All right, well, we're going to let that percolate for a moment. So key points that we talked about under that Manage Litters card so far. Edit Puppy Info is where we retrieve our PIN codes. And once again, be sure that we are always providing a signed registration application to our new owners. Providing the puppy number and the PIN codes is not sufficient for their online registration. And they, of course, would not be able to mail that in for processing. If we intend to designate limited registration, once again, open up that litter, click on Edit Puppy Info, and be sure that you check that box. If you intend to designate limited, before you click on that register link, do maintain your litter records for a period of 5 years, and you have your downloadable litter record form that is already pre-populated for you. And you have different purchase options. Prepay at $23 a puppy. Be sure that we do complete that first page form and transfer the puppy, or your electronic litter kit. And of course, we can always see the status of our registered puppies when we look at our Manage Litters card, including the name and registration type when we expand a litter. However, an exciting thing is once you have achieved 100% of individual puppy registrations within a litter, so if we have 5 puppies in that litter and all 5 puppies are individually registered, you get a litter coupon. And that's what we're going to talk about next is the litter coupons card. Now, there is nothing you need to do here except to ensure that your puppies get registered because we're going to go ahead and generate that discount code for you. It is provided to you so that you can use that on a future litter registration. It is a wonderful benefit to all breeders who are ensuring that all of their puppies are registered, and it's a great prepay incentive and reminder to your puppy owners to go ahead and complete their registration. The Litter Coupons card is going to automatically track your registration progress and generate the coupon for you. It's easy to click and copy it and paste it into your online litter registration, along with an indicator if that coupon has already been used. So here's an example. It's going to also provide you with a graphic as well as the number of puppies that are registered. And here we see a coupon code. We've got these 2 little sheets of paper to copy, and we've got a little informational symbol, which when we highlight over it will let us know if we have already used that litter coupon. So let's take a peek at that. So I'm going to use my breadcrumb, go back here, click on litter coupons. We'll give it a moment here. All right, well, while that is thinking, I'm going to go ahead and we will come back and hopefully be able to pull that up live here once my internet catches up. And next, let's talk about breeding records. Now, this card is used to create and manage your personal AKC mating, birth, and puppy records, and it does not update our official records, but it is part of your record keeping. Now, the breeding records, there is the ability to quickly add a record. There is a button right up here at the top, then filter those records and see how many total results that you have. And up at the top, it's got the key here for your mating records, birth records, litter records, and sire involvement only. Now, mating and birth records are for your personal records, and you're going to go ahead and create a birth record when that litter is whelped, but it has not yet been AKC registered. So this is where it is a natural or cesarean type birth where you can enter any notes that would be relevant for you to have. And then once that litter is officially registered, the system is going to go ahead and create a litter record for you and will display it alongside that birth record. So you'll see the B and the L. Now changes here do not update official AKC information. And we can see here we've got mating history. We can see that there was natural, or if you had AI, you could enter that information. And then on the right-hand side, we've got that date of birth where we can enter birth information. And then we will have an accompanying litter tab when the litter has become registered. And we can see the B and the L here as well. So we can also see the puppy information, and this is where we can designate the puppy identifiers. Maybe you're using different color collars, the orange collar, the green collar. And while that puppy or while the litter is unregistered, you can still delete or add puppies as well as part of your birth records. So that puppies tab is what's going to allow you that flexibility to edit those details that later become your litter records. If a puppy's unregistered, it can be deleted. And this tab will also appear on your birth litter record of the bitch. So we can see an example here, edit or delete, and also the ability to add a puppy. There is a slight difference between a registered puppy, and you'll see the registered name up at the top, versus an unregistered puppy. We cannot delete that puppy. We cannot delete a registered puppy, but we can delete an unregistered puppy. Now, if multiple sires are used, a separate mating record for each sire is required for our record keeping purposes. And we can see here when we're entering a mating record, we can see the date of mating. You have a drop-down list here for the types of mating, and we can see mating history here. And then here's a sample of what that birth record looks like. So let's go ahead and view that card. Let's see what's happening over here with Breeder Toolkit. See if we can refresh. Looks like we may have timed out here for just a moment, so I will circle back to that. I do want to go ahead while we still have some time here, and I will work on getting that screen back up to just recap what we have covered today. So we looked at the Manage Litters card where we have Prepaid, the electronic litter kit, and of course our litter records. We had the litter coupons and then the breeding records card. And these are all powerful tools for your puppy management, your breeding records, and AKC litter record keeping requirements that are centralized and organized to access your information anytime. I'm going to put this slide up here and we're going to be going through some chat Q&A. I also wanted to let you know that past and future Brett webinars are being posted on akc.org. You can locate it by going to our expert advice menu, AKC Education, and our AKC Education webinar series. And I'm going to take a peek here at some of the questions we've got. Okay. Breeder Toolkit records do not go away. You are required to keep your records for at least 5 years, but they are always living within Breeder Toolkit, easily accessible to you. The timeline for our new online registration workflows, such as Fresh, Fresh Extended, and Frozen, those are just around the corner. I will get specifics for you here. I believe we have a couple already rolled out for online litters and definitely should be by the end of the year. Fresh and Fresh Extended are currently live. And I'm still looking here for your questions. Keep them coming. Frozen should be live by the end of August or beginning of September. And August is just next week, so coming very soon. And also, just letting everybody know, if you would like to stay around for a little bit longer, we will, of course, continue to answer questions as they come in. There will be a brief survey as you exit the webinar. And any further questions that you have, if we are not addressing those today or you think of them after the fact, do feel free to email those to info@akc.org. Okay, I'm still looking for some questions here. I'm going to go back and see what we can pull up here. Okay, I'm going to take a peek over at some of our other questions here. Y'all have a lot of great questions. Let me just scroll through these for a moment. Is there a way to watch this webinar at a later date? Yes, absolutely. That is going to be posted. I believe all participants will be receiving a follow-up link. However, on our website, akc.org, under the expert advice menu, AKC Education, there is a link for our education webinar series, and you will be able to watch the replay there, which is great. You can pause and take notes. Okay, let's see what else we have here. If I prepay and complete puppy registrations, do I check all three on the litter record? Application, certificate, and bill of sale. Certainly note whatever paperwork was provided. The application is, yes, that's going to be essentially your online application if you're completing it on behalf of the new owner, or if you allowed them to complete the registration, then you would check application. If you complete the application on their behalf, you could probably check certificate, since they will be receiving a registration certificate in the mail. And you, of course, can add notes as well. Okay, where do PIN codes come from? Is that when the litter is registered? Yes, PIN codes are generated when the litter is registered. There are a couple of situations when PIN codes are not generated, specifically if that litter is co-owned. There's a small checkbox on the application, the paper application, to not generate PIN codes. But by default, we typically do generate PIN codes for those litters. When does the puppy need to be registered, and why would a breeder not want to register all puppies at the same time? You know, there can be a number of different reasons why we might not register all the puppies at the same time. It could be that we have different buyer time frames. It could be that we are keeping puppies to see how they develop, and maybe we're going to keep them for ourselves. There can be a number of different reasons. But the nice thing about prepay is that you can go ahead and pay for that registration and then transfer the puppy when it's appropriate. And of course, with prepay, there are no late fees. If you do not use prepay within 1 year, that is when we begin to assess the late fee. I do see we've got a question answered about foundation stock, and yes, our updated versions will allow for FSS. Okay, I'm still scrolling through your questions. How do we access the new owner log if we do an electronic litter kit? I'm not sure what we mean by that, Cassia. Uh, how do I access all the webinars? Yes, again, under expert advice, AKC education. I will bring that over here. So here is our website, expert advice, AKC education. I'm going to scroll down here, AKC education webinar series, and click this link right here. This is going to let you see all of the upcoming education webinars and previously aired. And if you go into 2023, we did a 1-hour overview of all of the Breeder Toolkit cards back in May, and you can click to view it there as well. Okay, the two different ways of registering. I know I have to register the litter, and then I go into pre-registering. So it always begins with registering the litter. That is essentially what tells us about that litter, who the dam is, who the sire is, the date of birth of that litter, and the number of male and female puppies. And that's also what creates essentially those spots for only 4 males can be registered if the complement indicates there are 4 males in that litter and 4 females. So once we have that litter registered, then you have choices in terms of what your next steps are. You can just register and receive the paper litter kit in the mail. And those, of course, are going to be your individually numbered applications that you sign and provide to your puppy buyers. Or you can opt in for the digital version of that litter kit, which is the electronic litter kit. Or you can go ahead and prepay, and that is where you pay $23 for all of your unregistered puppies in the litter. So if there are 10 puppies in that litter, for the sake of math, that's going to be a $230 investment on top of your $25 plus $2 a puppy processing fee. Now, those costs, of course, you can select how to build those costs into your puppy purchase or however that works for you. Other questions that I didn't get to here? As a breeder, if we stay on the same registration to enforce the spay neuter, how much does it cost to remove our name from registration? Oh, that's a good question. So you're talking about when the puppy is registered, you are listed as a co-owner on that puppy's registration. What you will do is a transfer of ownership, and you can do that digitally on our website, or you can mail in that registration certificate. On your registration certificate, all of the former owners need to sign off, and then the new owners need to sign back on. Your transfer application is on the back of your registration certificate. And great way to check what our current fees are. I go to our homepage, akc.org, click on the brown fluffy dog, and I like to go here under more information. And here's our fee schedule. So you can always get up-to-date information about our fees. So we can see registration is $39.99. Here we have our litter registrations, and your transfer of dog, it's going to be $33 to transfer ownership of your dog, plus $10 per co-owner that you add onto that dog. A prepay is $23 per puppy. I'm not sure I understand the electronic litter kit fee. Is that 12? Okay, so the electronic litter kit, essentially that is a fee for the convenience of having your litter kit delivered digitally, and for us to continue hosting it and storing it so that you always have it available. So you're registering your litter, and then you're paying an additional $12 to have those electronic litter forms or electronic registration applications saved and stored for you. Okay, if you are importing any dogs, we have a foreign registration process. Be sure that you are taking a look at that. That is also going to be on our homepage under Register Your Dog. We have a great section on our website for foreign registration. If we choose other, foreign registration, and when you click on register online, There's going to be all kinds of information about what you need, as well as our special registry services page, which indicates all of the different registries per country. Oh, thank you for your comments. I am glad that this was helpful. Are there any additional comments? I'm scrolling through here just to make sure. I see litter coupon. How much is the litter coupon worth? It is $10 off the next litter. I see that that was answered in the chat, but if you did not see that, it's such a great value because the processing fee alone is $25. So that's going to save you some great dollars there. What is the AKC agreement that an owner agrees to when they register their puppy? That's a great question. Online, if you are registering your puppy, there is a certification statement that indicates you have the full written permission to register that puppy online. Translated, what that means is that you need to make sure that you've got your signed registration application that you will keep with your records, even if you are registering the puppy online. So whenever you pick up your puppy, you do want to ensure that you have the AKC registration application and flip it over to that second page and be sure that all of the litter owners have signed that application for you. You do not need to mail it to us if you are registering online, but do keep it for your records. Okay, Linda or Sierra, do we have any additional questions here to highlight?
Okay, so we've got quite a few questions. We may not have enough time to get to all of them, but we're going to have a report of all of these questions at the end so we can follow up via email with everyone who had a question that wasn't able to get it answered.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm just scrolling to the end here. If you prepay for all puppies, but wait to register until they spay or neuter at 2 years old, what is the late fee? Now if you're prepaying, there is no late fee. So that's a wonderful way to ensure that you are saving yourself that money. Can you register a litter that was bred with frozen online? It is coming, Mandy. If I had a puppy stolen, how can I get the paperwork back? That's going to be a great question for our customer registration support team. If you need assistance with that, please do contact customer service and we'll be glad to provide you with the process involved there. I'm sorry that happened. AKC registration. We've explained that AKC registration is important for record keeping, but some buyers still do not register. Tips to get them to register are appreciated. We are a not-for-profit organization. We have all kinds of amazing services that we provide. We are the only registry in the United States that does kennel inspections, and our Good Works campaign, we've got all kinds of education. And if you do need assistance with registration tips, our puppy folders have a lot of great inserts that explain the value of AKC registration, as well as all kinds of pamphlets and flyers on our education site. And that again is under Expert Advice, AKC Education. Lots of great things. And of course, our amazing customer service team, we are always here to help. And another benefit, by the way, of registering whether your dog is full or limited is now you have access to that dog's family tree. So you can order a pedigree, and that's going to be up to 30 of your dog's ancestors, and see those bloodlines, see the AKC names, the registration numbers, the colors. And of course, it's also going to show titles, and any dogs that were imported, you will also see their country of origin. So that's always really exciting for buyers to see their dog's family tree. And you cannot get a pedigree on your dog until it is registered.
Great. And Kelly, I think that's all the time we have for this evening. And I appreciate you presenting what a wonderful presentation on managing your litters this evening. And as Kelly stated, there will be a brief survey once the webinar closes. If you can take that survey, we'd greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much for attending tonight.
Thank you, everyone.